Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Continuing the series, Connecting with Ourselves. Peace be with you, and welcome back to Connect. Today's episode is transitions. So what does that mean, transitions? It's the time in between moments that you're preparing for. So let's get into some layouts of that, get your mind going on it. How about from work to home? You're pulling into your driveway and you know you're going to have to deal with maybe a little chaos, maybe some things. In that transition time, you need to sit in your car, your vehicle, and prepare your mind for what's coming. Relax yourself. Get yourself centered and realize the blessings that you have that are inside. What about when you're going to visit your family? Preparing your mind for that. Maybe there's a little friction, or maybe you want to bring some flowers, right? These are all different dynamics that each of us have, and mindset is everything. So think of transition as preparing your mind for the moment that's coming. How about for a job interview? You want to look your best. You need to be prepared mentally. You need to be fully present. What about a funeral? Prepare yourself mentally for that. Those are tough. Transitions take time. It takes time to get your mind centered, focused, relaxed, so that you can be present to step into any moment. Let's switch it up now. What about your baby? You remember your child when they were a baby? And then from baby to toddler, that transition, it's a memorable transition. What about yourself becoming a parent? From not being a parent to a parent. That is a crazy transition. And all the layers that come with it. The fear of the unknown. It's a lot to reflect on. Your child becoming a teen. What that brings. We can prepare ourselves mentally for what's coming through visualization, through our own experiences. Now let's talk about individuals. So we'll start to go internal and dig a little deeper. And I want you to really understand how when you're thinking about transitions and now you're wrapping your awareness around transitions, mindset is key. Your mindset is key. So this is where we look at ourselves again and we ask ourselves, am I listening to that voice in my head, that little voice that never shuts up? Our egos? Am I that? Well, you're not that. You're the awareness that sits in observation of that. You're pure light, you're pure love. And your foundation and being aware of your ego is critical. So how important is foundation? How about after a breakup? How do we deal after a breakup and our go-tos? That is a very tough transition. Breakups will break you. It's like you're splitting in half, right? The version of yourself that was with that person is now over. In that moment, buckling down and really harnessing your own foundation is critical. That's why in the beginning of this series, we talked about recognizing our foundation, building our foundation, and all of the layers that we've run through have been there to solidify and fortify our foundation as individuals. So that when we're tested and we're battle tested, our go-to is to go to that solid foundation from our authentic selves, being aware of the ego and being aware of the ego's foundation and being able to see it within ourselves and our own thoughts, our own behaviors, words, and actions. So the only constant in life is change. And transitions play a key part. So are you stuck in a transition? Do you feel like you're stagnant? You're just stuck? Don't know what to do? Reflect on it, meditate on it if you're stuck, and go into yourself and really look at what's holding you back. Ultimately, it's yourself, unless you're being abused or in a really bad situation. Those internal blockages that are weighing you down, keeping you stuck, keeping you fearful, they got to be dealt with. They got to be dealt with. Things grow, or they stay stagnant, or they decline and then they wither away, they fade away. That's why constantly building and building and building and working on your momentum, fortifying your foundation, working on your self-awareness is key. And that will help you transition smoothly. So are you transitioning smoothly? In order to do that, you've got to process your day, process your reality, be self-accountable, accept things, and push forward. Push forward to fight for what you want and becoming the best version of yourself. What about transitioning away from your own ego? Through your awareness, through facing yourself, through facing your choices and getting to the root cause of why you made those decisions. Because, well, I don't know. I just did it. If you dig deep enough, you'll get to the root cause of it. And it's typically the ego. Self-sabotage, selfishness, layers and layers and layers of the ego to keep you wound up in his grip. So transitioning through that, that's some tough internal work. But sitting with yourself and having the courage to be honest with yourself and love yourself enough to go through it because you deserve it. What about a spiritual transition? Through prayer, through meditation, through trust and surrender to God? Are you building momentum in those transitions? Do you see those transitions possible? Are you working on it? It's a process. Opening our minds and opening our hearts allows us to receive all the blessings from God, the little breadcrumbs that he throws us to keep us on the path. So we know, are we on the right path? Well, are you being true to your authentic self? Or are you just led by the ego, that little voice in your head? Transitions. Wanted to put this on your mind and on your heart. It hit me last week, and I wanted to have a conversation with you about transitions. Get this going in your head and how it applies to you as an individual. So today's discussion was just throwing out a bunch of layers of it. Maximize the time in your transitions. See it for what it is. Sometimes you'll feel like you're in the unknown, and that can be scary, but you'll get through it. Keep working the process. Keep owning your reality. Keep journaling. And be the best version of yourself. Hope today's conversation stimulated you to get some thinking done. Sit with yourself in it. Also want to invite you to go to theconnection.studio. You can check out all the podcasts there. All the journal links are there for this episode and for all the other episodes as well. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work, as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.